Ladies and gentlemen, gather round for today's episode of Royal Shenanigans. We've got some juicy gossip about our very own King Charles and his adventures in Parliament. But before we dive into the drama, let me start off with a joke fit for the occasion. Why did the king bring a ladder to Parliament? Because he wanted to make sure his speech reached new heights. Talk about raising the bar. Am I right? Now let's get down to business. Our beloved royal commentator, Jennie Bond, had some choice words about King Charles' state opening of Parliament. She called it a pantomime, and boy, did she let loose on the king's performance. As the first king in over 70 years to grace the halls of Parliament, King Charles took center stage and began reading the government's plans for the year ahead. It was like watching a seasoned actor recite lines from a script, but with more pomp and circumstance. In his speech, King Charles announced plans for new oil and gas licenses, along with some other exciting initiatives. He even promised to bring down inflation and help businesses flourish. It's like he's auditioning for the role of the nation's economic superhero. But Jennie Bond wasn't having any of it. She scoffed at the lack of originality, claiming there was nothing new under the royal sun. According to her, it was just a political storyline, and that's not her cup of tea. And oh boy, did she have thoughts about the king's enthusiasm for the whole affair. She labeled it ridiculous and likened it to a pantomime. I mean, come on, who doesn't love a good old-fashioned play? But let's be real, staging this extravaganza doesn't come cheap. I hope they didn't blow the royal budget on props and costumes. Jennie went on to suggest that the king wasn't exactly thrilled about the whole Parliament gig. She couldn't imagine him wanting to toss the entire speech over his shoulder and declare it a load. A biffle, which, by the way, is a technical term for nonsense. But alas, a king must play his part even if he's not feeling the script. In fact, Jennie questioned the whole purpose of this grand spectacle. Why not have the Prime Minister take the spotlight and outline the government's program? It would certainly save us all from the discomfort of watching a reluctant king stumble through political jargon. Isabel Webster, our lovely presenter, chimed in with a suggestion for a hybrid ceremony. She proposed a ribbon-cutting affair to kick things off, followed by the Prime Minister taking charge of the legislative plans. It's like a 2-for-1 deal, folks. You get the fancy ribbon and the real substance. Jennie nodded in agreement, expressing her frustration with the excessive symbolism and lack of understanding surrounding this royal procedure. Maybe it's time we demystify the whole thing and focus on what really matters, getting things done. So there you have it, folks. King Charles' state opening of Parliament has been dubbed a pantomime by our witty commentator Jennie Bond. Will this critique lead to some changes in the future? Who knows? But one thing's for sure, we'll be here, ready to provide you with all the amusing updates in the world of royalty. Stay tuned for more royal shenanigans.